The volatility is off the charts. What's going on, guys? Silver confirmed 589 on the day 123. How is this possible? Vanguard ETFs, the money that's pouring into these cryptocurrencies are outstanding. And then Brad Garlinghouse on stage at this Binance event, guys, right? Speaking his mind. So there's a bunch of stuff happening. I don't know why, I feel very excited. Why? Because I feel like something's coming, which will wake people up. Hello, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. XRP is around $2.17. Okay, but here we go. This is where things get very exciting, guys, and it begins today, truly and officially. I'm not kidding. When you look at silver's chart, pay attention very closely. Thank you, and please like today's video if you guys are going to enjoy it. Now, guys, we're from part of XRP in the XRP community. Now, this is quite interesting. Just saying, today is December 3rd, 12/3. It comes out to what? 1, 2, 3. So it begins, right? Like the snowball is rolling down, guys. The hill getting bigger and bigger, and not to mention today is as well 1 plus 2 is what? 3, 3. We got 1, 2, 3, and 33, which Mr. Poole told us once upon a time. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Okay. The date is important on this one. It's 8 and 8. 88 miles per hour, traveling back to the future. Okay, time traveling. But wait, 8-8. Okay, remember that, because it's gonna go back to silver here in just a second. Check this out. We got a new series on Netflix that released today on 12/3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Literally called Ripple. Right? Well, I don't know if it's actually called Ripple. I think it may be. It does say Ripple there. 8 episodes, 2025, right? Supposedly published today. And in New York City, 4 strangers navigate life's challenges while their separate paths unexpectedly intertwine in ways that change them forever, right? And then it was released today. Today, huh? Why? Ripple today? 1, 2, 3, let's go. All 8 episodes of Ripple are available on Netflix now. Episode 4, by the way, I haven't seen this or watched the series at all. Maybe you guys can and try to figure out some hints and clues, right, that connect to XRP, which it does literally because it comes back to Ripple, by the way. Episode 4 is called, quote-unquote, The Storm. What is that? Yeah, it's basically game over, guys, right? They're now putting it in plain sight, by the way. The Storm. He's not kidding. You guys know why? Because silver, XRP, is the storm, right? They're mirrored together. Look at this. Why is silver at $58.9 on 12/3? Have you guys thought about that? He's not kidding. When I see this, I'm like, wait a second, what? Oh my lord, this is the craziest thing ever. Check this out, guys. So, this is silver's chart. Today, okay, look, it didn't happen on any other day, right? The highest one was 58.8. This was on December 1st, okay? And before then, it never happened. This is on the hourly chart, okay? Zoomed in time frame. But on December 3rd, guys, silver went to 58.9, right? It happened on December 2nd as well. But again, it's floating around this region here, right? Within the state or around the state, guys. Okay, remember 589 comes back to what? The resets, guys, which comes back to silver, right? Which connects back to XRP. Now we understand. We knew that silver was a trigger, especially when it was touching 589 today. But wait, remember that 88 number, which I told you guys to hold on to, because silver is up plus 88% in just 12 months against the world's reserve currency. Talk about a move. 88, huh? From Mr. Poole, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Now it starts to make sense, right? So my question here to you guys is, but wait, silver isn't the only thing that's having a lot of liquidity being poured into it. There's something else as well. It's XRP ETFs. XRP surges on massive inflows. XRP pulled in $289 million this week, one of its biggest yet. Overall digital asset ETFs recorded more than $1 billion in weekly net inflows. So there's just so much money being poured into this asset, guys. Okay, then we got the 21 shares 10 index with XRP is now available on Vanguard. Plus we got these more plus we got more of these products launching, guys. Okay, on Vanguard, which these clients can buy. So why? My question is this. Silver is at 589. The bear told us it connects back to the reset, which is 589 from Mr. Poole, which is a trigger warning, right? Which is a warning of what's to come. Why is silver exploding? Okay, because they know something's coming, but the real question stands as, why is there a lot of money being poured into XRP? Right, through these different pathways. Have you guys noticed that? BlackRock versus Vanguard. Everyone says BlackRock is the biggest, and it is, but Vanguard is actually bigger in that places that matter to most Americans. Number one in U.S. retirement savings, right? They're number one in everything. So now that they're embracing Bitcoin and XRP and these other coins, it's huge, right? But they timed it specifically that silver's on the move, and they want you to be buying these assets. Interesting, isn't it? Well, here comes BRADGARLINGHOUSE at Binance's blockchain week, guys. He says this about the ETFs. Okay, then we're going to go back to today's date with Mr. Poole because it gets quite odd.
The best is yet to come. Brad, why do you think the bears are back in the market?
Well, why?
The best is yet to come. The bears are back into the market. Wait, bear book down to 3?
Are the bears back in the market? You know, look, first of all, thank you for having us. I think it's an incredible event. It's my first time to join this event, but hopefully look back to being next year as well. And obviously good to see you both. Look, I think crypto has gone through cycles. And when you have risk on, people are excited. They are, you know, now you have kind of a risk off moment. There's uncertainty.
Now you have kind of a risk-off moment. There's uncertainty. Exactly why silver is on the move. And this is why somebody asked, why do I keep saying black swan on every video? Because if there's a black swan, do you at least want to know about it that's incoming? Or you want to get blindsided by it? Okay, and hit by it. Obviously, these days, by the way, there are black swans happening every other day. Have you guys noticed that the acceleration of the black swans, right, that's occurring? They're like throwing it out left and right. Like, what's going on? Okay, so that's why silver is on the move. At 589, which comes back to the reset, by the way, something is coming, and it's going to be bad. But let's continue with these ETFs. But again, the real question is, why is money being poured, a lot of money being poured into these assets, especially XRP, by the way, if you guys haven't noticed, during this turmoil time, uncertain time?
I personally will echo some of the things Richard said. There are so many macro factors that are continuing to provide tailwinds for this industry, but the institutions are still catching up with that to some degree. You saw Franklin Templeton on stage here, you saw BlackRock on stage. Just this week, I think Vanguard has now opened up, Vanguard historically has said, we won't touch crypto. And now they've had a massive sea change. That's just one of many things that are creating those tailwinds, and so I'm super optimistic.
Vanguard, massive what? Sea change. That's odd, the ship, right? Interesting.
About the year ahead. The last thing I'll say on this, which I think we'll also probably all agree about on this, is we are also seeing real-world applications where it's not just about the speculation. You're finding easier to use. I think you're going to see more and more of that.
What's your take on this too? Do you think the ETF floor was overhyped?
Definitely no. Look, obviously what you were describing is all data correct, but I think you got to zoom out a little bit further and realize that this ETFs didn't exist because of the regulatory problems in the United States. They didn't exist, and in the last 2 or 3 weeks, over $700 million have flown into XRP ETFs, which is just
$700 million, what? Guys, that is insanity. Like, and it isn't just some random person, like somebody buying. I mean, it could be. It probably is, right? Like, because of TradFi, right? The elderly people having a pathway opening up that's more efficient for them to buy XRP. But again, it's probably, large people that have a lot of money, shall we say, entities, institutions, companies.
Up demand from institutional investors, from investors who want access because they don't want to custody themselves, what have you. But look, again, if you zoom out to the macro level, the total ETF market, only 1 or 2% of the total ETF market is crypto. I will bet anybody here that a year from now, that will be more than 1 or 2%. there's going to continue to be inflows. And yes, you can take a snapshot of time and say, okay, there's a billion left Bitcoin ETFs or whatever the data you cited a moment ago. But if you zoom out a little bit further and say, okay, over 2026, do we really think crypto ETFs are only going to be 1 or 2% of the total ETF market? No chance. And so that, again, it's one of those macro tailwinds where Ripple sits in a position where we see.
So BRADGARLINGHOUSE is extremely bullish on these ETFs, by the way. Now, we're going to possibly keep watching that. Maybe, I'm not quite sure. Now, Marissa says, not saying something will happen, just saying I stopped believing in coincidences a long time ago. Mr. Poole, December 3rd, 10 a.m. There is a P3 Moon-Pluto conjunction in the U.S. Liberty chart this Wednesday today that should bring some kind of sharp chaos, panic, or terror for the U.S. that day. Right? Mr. Poole today, December 3rd, 10 a.m., he told us to evacuate. Right? People are definitely evacuating from other assets into XRP, if you guys haven't realized. Right? And people are evacuating from other assets into silver as well. Right? But if he meant literally, that means something is gonna happen quite soon. Okay, so this is clear as day. Guys, I'm truly excited because I know something's incoming. I can feel it. I feel it in my bones, right? So yeah, this was the like he actually said this, guys. Look at this. December 3rd is copied toward event 909. Event 909 that had already happened or not, right? So it's about to happen though. Japan's 30-year bond yield jumps to almost 3.41%, its highest level in history. We're going to be talking about these bond yields in the next video, but today, from Mr. Poole, Japan is a trigger to every other domino falling. They're about to implode, guys. You guys realize this or not? Right? From July 23rd to December 3rd comes out to 1, 2, 3 days. 0 days, right? You dropped to 0. Look at that, July 23rd. That's actually crazy. Another 1, 2, 3. Then, look at this. Other parts of Cuba hit by a blackout today as well. Right? For Mr. Poole, December 3rd. That's an eclipse, a literal celestial blackout. You can't make this stuff up, right? So from May 7th, 2022 to December 3rd is 3, 2, 1. 1 days again, 1, 2, 3. Right? From this tweet, guys, from Mr. Poole, right? A blackout. Mini Archie says, now. Is it truly now? I think so. Remember, now coming back to WARN as well. Let's go back to BRADGARLINGHOUSE speaking his mind here. On the environment of the crypto sphere.
A lot of interesting activity where institutions that have been on the sidelines, maybe because of regulatory clarity, maybe because of risk aversion, for whatever reasons they've been on the sidelines, they're getting involved. And they're starting small, and they're going to walk, then they're going to crawl, then they're going to walk, then they're going to run. And I think it's going to create a lot of tailwind.
So this moment in the market hasn't necessarily spooked institutional capital. That's what you're saying?
Definitely not.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit more about the institutional adoption here and what you're seeing in terms of real-world payments as well on the stablecoin side?
Well, I mean, the stablecoin point you're making particularly, I think you are absolutely right that as people kind of went risk off, they stayed on stablecoins, which is indicative of, as Richard's describing, the utility, the 24/7 nature of a stablecoin, but it's also trust. Where maybe years ago they might have said, I want to get into a fiat that I trust even more, but people are recognizing the stablecoins can be stable and easier to manage.
What's shocking to me is they're actually bringing transparency into the scene, right? Why is Brad even there? Because he's very transparent compared to all these other players. That's a little bit interesting.
It's good collateral on various platforms from a lending point of view. And again, I think that the tailwinds just on solving real problems and good collateral that's easy to move and is more flexible and can be moved multiple times a day even, that wasn't possible before. And I think what you're seeing happen in the United States with regulatory clarity, Richard earlier referenced the Genius Act. The Genius Act is regulatory clarity for stablecoins. And you're already seeing more institutional interest in stablecoin payments. Ripple purchased a company called G Treasury recently when XRP received regulatory clarity from the federal courts.
So I'll leave the rest of the video in the description below, by the way, if you guys would like to investigate further. Quite interesting. Remember, Richard is part of the WEF, if you guys didn't realize as well. So I'll prepare, guys. I feel like it's truly time soon. The fountain for today's video, from Ripcord, December 3rd, Q, The Great Awakening. It's probably soon time. Not financial advice. I'll prepare for whatever is imminent. But anyway, Sophie's amazing. See ya.